Hey guys, Marsling here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and we are back with another episode of Fan Creation Friday, the ongoing series where we set a theme and then you guys submit your custom cards. Myself and a team of judges, which includes the other mods from the Discord and the winner from the previous week's episode, go through all the submissions, pick our favourites, and then I put all that data together and determine a bunch of entries to be in the video. I've explained this before in previous entries, but basically we go by like the ones that get the most votes. So if a bunch of entries get voted for by multiple judges, then they make it into the video, and if an entry is voted for by pretty much every judge, that is potentially going to be the one that ends up to be the winner. Obviously the final decision is mine, but I go by all of the feedback that you guys give me, and yeah, it's pretty fun. I say this on like every single episode, but all the entries were really good. We can't obviously have all of them in the video, so don't be discouraged if your entry did not make it in. Maybe you will next time. And if this is your first time seeing this series and you want to be involved in the next episode, make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the description down below, as the entries can only be submitted via the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, you cannot enter the drawing for the episode. So the theme for this week is Full Power. Full Power is a category that does have quite a lot of good units on it, but is definitely lacking a strong category leader. We definitely need an update for that. So the theme for this week was to create a TUR or an LR that would be a massive buff for the Full Power category. It didn't have to be a Full Power leader, so they didn't have to have Full Power in their leader skill at all, but it just had to be a unit that would be a big buff for that category. And there was a little bit of controversy with this episode. Some of the judges disagreed on units that should actually even be in that category. We briefly discussed it when the theme was decided in the channel, and I kind of made a judgment call. People asked me about specific units and whether or not they would actually be in it, because the determination for the category is, I guess you could argue, somewhat of a grey area, because the idea, as far as I am aware, is that it's supposed to be units who were using their full power at the time. So obviously, like, we have already in the category a Kaioken Goku from the Saiyan Saga. That's because that was his full power at the time, but we know it's not Goku's full power by, like, the end of Z. So it kind of comes down to, was the character using their full power at the time? And that's where some of the disagreement came in, but you will see when we get to some of the entries later on. So without further ado, let us jump straight in and have a look at the first entry for this week. Okay, so first up we have the entry from ThickRice, who has given us a Kaioken Goku. Is a super physical TUR. This one is based around the fight against Vegeta from the end of the Saiyan Saga. So the leader skill is low class warriors category, 4 key, attack and defense 170, HP 159%. Interesting incorporating the 59. Obviously a 170 across the board lead with 4 key is probably acceptable, but still 159% for HP is still perfectly fine and features that little bit of the Goku relevance there. And then full power, 3 key, HP, attack and defense 159% as well. So the super attack is the all-out Kamehameha, massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn and does immense damage to the enemy with a medium chance to stun. So massively raises is good. Obviously an additional super pumps up those stats significantly. It is only for the 1 turn, but still very effective within that turn. And the chance to stun as well, which can be useful in Super Battle Road. The passive is Desperate Blast, attack and defense 159%, Goku family category allies, key +2, attack and defense 30%, and chance to perform a critical hit +20%, so definitely very useful support unit for that team. Attack 59% when HP is 59% or below. Performs an additional super attack when there is a Pure Saiyan category or extreme class enemy. And nullifies Ki Blast super attacks. So very, very strong unit. Obviously having the Pure Saiyans part in there, the flavor for the Vegeta fight. But it also has the or any extreme class enemy. So very, very good. Has a built-in additional super attack. So if you give this guy some decent additional in the hidden potential, you definitely definitely have a solid chance of 3 super attacks in one turn, which when you put that on top of the massively raises attack and defense, definitely going to be very, very powerful. And the all-out like nullifying Ki Blast supers is very, very powerful as well. We see that with like the new androids that have come out on JP. So yeah, very, very strong. And then he has an active skill, just a little more, can be used upon entering each attacking turn. Attack plus 59% and counters Ki Blast super attacks with tremendous power for one turn. Decreases total HP by 10% permanently. So this is kind of interesting. Because of the way this is worded, I'm assuming this means you can actually use this multiple times. So obviously, each time you do, 10% of your maximum HP is lost forever. So this is a very interesting new mechanic. I'm not sure how this would balance out in terms of, like, even in a long form event, you are obviously getting a pretty significant buff. You could probably get away with using this like a good 2, 3, maybe even 4 times and still not struggle to necessarily beat the event. And obviously, it's giving you a decent buff for one turn. You're getting the counters as well. So yeah, definitely an interesting one. This could be paired very nicely with like a unit that can see super attacks. And then losing that little bit of HP permanently isn't necessarily going to be the huge deal in order for you to do a huge amount of extra damage. Because this factored in on top of the fact that he's doing multiple supers with the massively raised, like obviously going to do a lot of damage. And then if you know where to put him to counter their super attack, even more damage. So very, very strong. His links are over in a flash, all in the family, Saiyan lineage, Kamehameha, experienced fighters, shattering the limit and fierce battle. Wait, so he has, I think this is a... he has shattering the limit and fierce battle. I didn't notice that before, but obviously you can't have both, so that's a weird one. Categories: low class warriors, pure Saiyan, full power, Goku family, Kamehameha, turtle school, bond of friendship, accelerated battle, final trump card, and all out struggle. So that was the first submission this week, coming to us from ThickRice. Shout out to you for the submission, and let us move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have an entry from DBZBoy, and he has created a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, so Blue Goku, who does perform the Kaioken as an active skill, so that's why he's on full power. He is a Super Tech unit, a TUR. This is based around the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament Goku. So when he first uses the Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue in the anime. So his leader skill is Realm of Gods or Final Trump Card category, 3 key and HP attack and defense 170 across the board. I think this is a pretty interesting combination because Final Trump Card has a lot of strong units. Obviously there's a little bit of crossover because you have like the blue Vegetos, the blue Gogetas, they're obviously on both, but there's a lot of Realm of Gods units that don't come into this, so this could make a very interesting team combo. The super attack is the God Kamehameha, raises defense for one turn, does immense damage and lowers enemy attack, so very good. The passive is strategy to beat the assassin, attack and defense 100%, then he gets an additional attack 77% when performing a super attack. He guards all attacks, foresees enemy super attacks for 7 turns upon first appearance, performs an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super, and then you can use the Kaioken when conditions are met. So pretty solid. The fact that he guards and can see enemy super attacks for the first bunch of turns is obviously a very powerful combination, because whilst he, you know, he only has 100% defense, so nothing too crazy. It kind of reminds me of like the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku, if you're running him without heroes allies, because he's got a decent amount of defense and guards, but doesn't have like a huge amount of damage reduction or anything. So you can see the enemy super attacks, but obviously if you put him in front of them, he still potentially can take some damage in the harder content. So I don't think that's too like overpowered. And then yeah, he has the additional that has a medium chance of becoming a super, remembering of course that a double super raises his defense again within that one turn, so pretty good. And then yeah, the Kaioken active skill, so after 4 turns when your HP is 77% or below, so fairly easy to hit this in most of the more difficult content. Obviously on a super powerful team you're not going to get this necessarily on turn 4 in some of the longer events where the first few phases aren't particularly hard hitting. But in Super Battle Road, obviously this will be fairly easy to get on that 4th turn and be kind of like a finisher. and then in the longer form events, as you start to get halfway or slightly over, it'd be quite easy to get this to activate once someone has taken a super attack or something like that. So his links are Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Kamehameha, Prepared for Battle, Experienced Fighters, Godly Power, and Fierce Battle. He's on Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Reps of Universe 7, Goku Family, Bond of Master and Disciple, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card, Turtle School, Bond of Friendship, and Accelerated Battle. Obviously he's not on Universe Survival Saga because this is from the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament. So once you use the active skill and he becomes Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, Kaioken, his super attack is the 10 times Kaioken Kamehameha, greatly raises attack, raises defense, and causes immense damage to the enemy while sacrificing 7% HP. So this greatly raises attack and raises defense. This is an infinite stack. So obviously very effective now for the longer form events. He does sacrifice HP, which is a little bit annoying, but easily manageable on some of these more powerful teams. His passive is the risky combination, attack and defense 150%, gains an additional attack 77% when performing a super, foresees enemy super attacks for 10 turns from the first appearance, attacks effective against all types when HP is 77% or above, evades enemy attacks including super attacks when there is a Universe 6 or target Goku enemy, and performs a critical hit on first appearance once only. So on the turn where you actually use the transformation, you get a guaranteed crit. For the links, Experienced Fighters becomes over in a flash. So this is really good because he has a 100% chance to dodge. Universe 6 is obviously fairly limited in the number of times you fight enemies in events where there are those enemies. But then target Goku on top, that will factor in a bunch of extra enemies. And I mean, it's not like it really matters too much that it's kind of limited because it is a 100% chance to dodge. So obviously, it needs to be limited a little bit in order to not be too overpowered. And in an event where you are going to be fighting one of these two enemies, obviously this is a perfect combination with the fact that he can foresee enemy super attacks. So you can just put him in the slot where the super is going to be, and he obviously guarantees to dodge it. So yeah, definitely a very strong card. Good representation of the Kaioken Goku from that situation, because the only one in the game is obviously the AGL one that got an Easy A, who technically isn't even named like the Kaioken Goku. So very good to see like an updated version of this one in the game. So shout out to DBZBoy for this entry, and let us move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the entry from Patrick Starr, and this is the controversial unit choice that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This was the one that I was specifically asked about that I determined was okay. This is a Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. Obviously, Legends fans, you know what this is all about. This is the Blue Goku and Vegeta doing the Kamehameha Gallic Gun combo in the fight against Broly before they essentially gave up hope on fighting him individually and teleported off to fuse into Gogeta. So, like I say, this was a controversial choice. A couple of the judges were saying that they didn't think this should be on full power. The way we discussed this in the fan creation channel in the Discord was that a lot of people are of the belief, myself included, that during the fight against Broly at the end of the movie, obviously Goku is not able to use Ultra Instinct at will. The belief is, I don't think it's ever specifically stated, but I think the idea is that Vegeta can't use Blue Evolution at will either. So because they are fighting Broly basically up until the point where they're so exhausted they almost collapse and then have to resort to fusion, I would argue that they are fighting Broly with their full power that they have available to them at the time. But obviously we already have Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the movie, the coat Vegeta and Goku, and they're not on full power. But I would argue that because they have the coats on, they're technically them from the beginning of the fight, even though they're not Super Saiyan Blue then. So it's a bit confusing. If Dokkan ever releases this actually as a unit, which would be hype, even if they're not on full power, I guess we will find out whether they consider them to be on full power or not. So you guys let me know down below in the comments section, what do you think? Would this unit actually be on full power? One of the Shadow was saying that obviously Goku technically should still be able to use the Kaioken on top of Blue, which he doesn't, which is why he doesn't think they would be on full power. But you guys let me know what you think down below. I think the card is still really, really good, but basically because of this minor controversy, this is why this card is the close second for this week, because with everyone not even being able to agree if they were actually on the category, it felt a little bit unfair for this one to be the winner for this week. But you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments section. So they are a Super Int LR. The leader skill is Movie Heroes and All Out Struggle, 3 key HP, attack and defense 170. Very solid leader skill. This would be a very good combination team. The super attack, name and effect. So Goku, super attack, cosmic rush, raises attack for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy. The ultra super is the ultimate Kamehameha, raises attack and defense, mega colossal damage to the enemy. Vegeta does the Gallic Gun as well. The ultimate super attack is God Binding Kamehameha, greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns and causes ultimate damage to the enemy, kind of like an active skill based super attack. The condition, when facing a movie, boss's category enemy, or when facing an enemy that name includes Broly, or when HP is 59% or below when facing a pure Saiyan enemy, this part can only activate once. So basically, ultimate super attack is kind of like a unit super, but it's based around the enemy that you're fighting rather than the like allies on the team. And so yeah, you have to be facing a movie boss's enemy, or a Broly, or when there's just a pure Saiyan enemy, but that's only available to be done once. Whereas if it's a movie boss or a Broly, that'll be done all the time like a unit super. And then Vegeta, super attack, cosmic shooter, raises defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy. The ultra super is ultimate Gallic Gun, and Goku does the Kamehameha in the animation as well. They're kind of like the Goten and Trunks units. Raises attack and defense and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. And his ultimate super is the God Gallic Gun Barrage, greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns, does ultimate damage to the enemy. And the ultimate super attack requirement is the same. HP is 50% or below when facing a pure Saiyan, which is the once only, rather than Goku's 50%. So just to clarify here, when we scroll down, they are an exchange unit. So it's Goku or Vegeta. They can exchange, and basically this can be done like an unlimited amount of times. So if you want to, you can exchange every single turn, like, and switch between Goku and Vegeta on each of the turns. So Goku's passive is the Azure Guardians, attack 100%, defense 180%, gets an additional attack 59 when performing a super attack, medium chance to perform a crit if it is an ultra super, reduces damage received by 30% and guard against all attacks as the first attacker in the turn, performs an additional super attack and attacks super effective against all types as the second or third attacker in the turn. After 5 super attacks have been performed, gain the effect rare chance to reduce damage received by 100% and evade all attacks for 1 turn once only. If the enemy is immune to attack or defense lowering, gain an additional attack 59% when performing an ultra super attack. So it has a lot of interesting features in here. I quite like this idea of a new mechanic. After 5 super attacks have performed, he has a rare chance to reduce all damage, basically just dodge and take no damage, and it only goes off once. But once you've done those 5 supers, that could definitely be very interesting. I also feel like on the flip side, like RNG is for 1 turn actually, but this could definitely have one of those backfiring effects where like he's only in a slot where there's 1 attack and it activates, but still definitely an interesting effect. There's definitely going to be times where this would come in clutch and you can use him to avoid a whole bunch of damage, so very interesting. And then Vegeta's passive is attack 100%, defense 150, an additional attack 50 when performing a super, additional attack 50 if it's an ultra super, reverse type advantage and disadvantage. So that's interesting. So it means he has type advantage over physical enemies. And is at type disadvantage to tech enemies. So that's kind of interesting. Key +2 per rainbow sphere obtained. Key +5 when facing an extreme type enemy. Great chance to evade enemy attacks before attacking as the first attacker in the turn. Perform an additional super attack which has a 40% chance to be a crit as the second or third attacker. Nullify key-based super attacks fired at this character and attack 5% each time this effect activates for the rest of the battle, up to 50%. If the enemy is immune to stun or seal, gain a high chance to foresee enemy super attacks. So each one of them has a little bit of a bonus against enemies that are immune to specific debuffs. So obviously you could exchange them based around which enemy you're fighting based on which debuffs they can and can't be affected by, which is very interesting. The links for Goku, Super Saiyan, Godly Power, Kamehameha, Prepared for Battle, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, and then Vegeta, Super Saiyan, Godly Power, Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Pride, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. They are on Movie Heroes, All Out Struggle, Kamehameha, Goku Family, Turtle School, Bond of Friendship, Full Power, Attained Evolution, Accelerated Battle, Pure Saiyans, Realm of Gods, Bond of Master and Disciple. Because obviously as an exchange unit, they start out as Goku, so technically for the categories, they're all Goku categories. And then the additional info here, it says when HP is 59%/50% or below when facing a Pure Saiyan enemy, can only be activated once, so kind of like an active skill. So this is for their ultimate super attack, so this is only a one-time thing, but this was mentioned in the details above. So very interesting unit. There's a lot to unpack here. Obviously this is a unit that people definitely would like to see in the game, myself included, the Goku and Vegeta together from the end of the movie. And like I said, controversial entry, because should they be on full power? You guys let me know what you think down below in the comment section, and let us move on to the winning entry for this week. Okay, so the winning entry for this week comes to us from Chaos Kitcrass, who has created a Kaioken Goku. This one is from the fight against Frieza on planet Namek, and he has a Super STR LR. His leader skill is Final Trump Card or Turtle School category 3 key, 170 to attack and defense and 130 to HP. His super attacks are for the 12 key, the Meteor Blow, raises attack infinitely, causes colossal damage to the enemy. And then the 18 key is the 20 times Kamehameha, greatly raises attack, raises defense for 1 turn, and does Mega Colossal. So he stacks attack on both of his supers. Obviously the 18 key is a bigger stack and also gives you raises defense for 1 turn. So this is one of those units where you obviously just want to be going for his 18 key. He doesn't have any sort of special effect that makes you want to get the 12 key over the 18 key one. But if you get an additional super, you are still stacking your attack. So very good. His passive is Here Goes Nothing. Key +3 and defense 159%. Then he gets an additional 159% attack when performing a super attack. He gets an additional key +1 up to 5 and attack +10% up to 59% with each attack received. So once he's been hit 5 times, he has the full key, 6 times to get the full attack bonus. He gets an additional defense 59% when facing only 1 enemy. High chance to evade enemy attacks, including super attacks. He performs an additional attack that has a high chance to be a super within the same turn after evading, and he gets a guaranteed crit if there is a Frieza enemy. So again, as we mentioned with one of the other cards, like, this is a bit limited in terms of where you'll be able to see this, but it's just a nice little bonus on top that he gets a guaranteed crit. So it's basically like the int Super Saiyan Namek Goku. So he's got a lot of good stuff going for him here. The built-in 50% chance to dodge, and then he gets a high chance to perform an additional super after dodging. So obviously he can be a unit that is very, very effective in slot 1. So yeah, very good. He has an active skill, which is to do the Spirit Bomb. Can be activated when HP is 59% or less with another 4 or more superclass allies on the team, once only. So obviously, whilst you can use him on differently built teams, you definitely need to be on a super focused team if you want to use this active skill. The effect is ultimate damage to the enemy and raises allies attack by 20% for 2 turns, so very good. His links: Kamehameha, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Warrior Race, Z Fighters, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. And the categories are Planet Namek Saga, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Goku Family, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card, All Out Struggle, Saviors, Turtle School, Powerful Comeback, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, and Entrusted Will. The additional info, so I tried to design this card to be LR Namek Goku's best partner. Because yeah, LR Namek Goku, we all know, works super well with AGL Gohan, but certain teams like Pure Saiyans, obviously they can't be run on together, so this guy would definitely be a very strong unit to be run alongside him. Kind of designed to be in slot 1. Int Namek Goku, obviously sometimes you kind of want him in slot 1, because if he gets hit, he gets a guaranteed additional attack, but on any of those rotations where there are no attacks in slot 1, you obviously kind of want to be putting the Int Goku in slot 2, because then he gets that chance to additional from his passive. So this guy makes a perfect unit to go into slot 1 on those kind of turns, and still works really well in slot 2, because he has the built-in chance to dodge still. You're just not getting the extra attack guaranteed if he gets a dodge, unless he's in slot 1. So those two would work really well together, because depending on the rotation, you can just decide on the fly which one you want to put in slot 1 and which one you want to put in slot 2. So this unit, definitely very powerful. Having a proper Kaioken Goku focused from that fight would definitely be awesome, with Spirit Bomb as well. especially when you think about like the quality of animations that we have today. So obviously this one, very, very good. Like I said at the start, all the entries were good, but this one, very, very good, and you definitely cannot argue that a Kaioken Goku should not be on full power. So this one is the winner for this week, and shout out to Chaos Kitcrass for this entry, and congratulations for being the winning entry of this week. So yeah, that is the full power episode of FCF drawing to a close. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what was your favourite card, and of course let me know your thoughts on the whole units that should and shouldn't be on full power. If you want to take part for the next episode, we don't decide the theme until usually either Saturday or Sunday, so make sure you join the Discord via the link down below, and you can be part of that discussion on choosing the theme. And then I post the form and you guys can submit your entries. So as always, shout out to everybody who submitted an entry. Like I always say, they were all good, they just can't all make it into the video, unfortunately. Shout out to all of the judges, the mods, and of course Typhoon, the winner from last week, for helping me to make the picks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your favourite down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.